Hello, Melly.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How has your day been so far?
My day has been good. I got up early. Um, I went to class. We had a new class today with a new teacher that I knew from San Francisco, and that was cool. Class was not that interesting because there was a lot of repetitive stuff, but it was nice seeing a lot of San Francisco people again. We had good dinner, lunch, and then went home after class, made some dinner for my boyfriend, and then now we're here.
Wow, that sounds very like a very good productive day.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now in the focus of this talk, what can I help you with? Where you want to focus on for the next 7 days? What challenge?
So I expect there's going to be a major shift next week, saying like on Monday we still have, or like let's start the week on Sunday. Like we have a presentation, so I have still class work. I have assignments to finish. On Monday we might gonna go to school with my the group just to finish up the assignments, and then and also gonna study for an exam. And then on Tuesday have the exam, have an essay, have another coaching session on Monday probably. But then after the Tuesday, I'm basically done with. Yeah, I might have a doctor's appointment someone also, just talking about it. But never mind. So yeah, I'd be done by next Tuesday. And then for the rest of the week, I expect like a whole lot of nothing because there's not gonna be anything that I need to prepare for. And I do want to keep up my productivity and like get up early, but I don't know. Like I fear I will not be able to do that.
Okay. So basically, next Tuesday, you're going to be relieved of all your school duties. And you want to know how can I maintain this productivity and this level of busyness afterwards.
I wouldn't say relieved because it's not like a burden to me. Like I like to be occupied and like wrap my hand around new concepts. So it is not that I'm relieved of. It's more that then that chapter is closed.
Yeah. Oh no. I'm sorry for being fake. In that like phrase, I meant it more like you will be finished, like you'll be relieved of duty, as in. But
Okay.
I mean exactly what you meant. That's
Okay.
perfect. Okay. So what have you tried already to keep productive when you know you're gonna have a like mellow period?
I'm reading a lot, like not just novels, but really semi-scientific books. I Google the internet of literally everything that is new. I try to make appointments at like the doctors or for gym classes or meeting up with friends and stuff like that.
Okay. And what other kind of activities would you like to do?
Um, Finish my to-do list, like do more of applications. It's not necessarily what I like to do, but what I kind of have to do. Um, so finish my assignments and then preparing for going back for graduation to San Francisco, I guess. And there's a friend coming over, and we still have one free option in our Explorer Pass, like for one site here in New York. So there is a lot to do, I guess.
So, as you mentioned, a couple of things there's still to do after Tuesday, and you also specifying there's still a lot to do. Where is it going wrong? Like, where is the moment that you feel like you don't have anything to do anymore, or you lose the productivity?
There's no set time on it. Like, it's not that I'm losing productivity, or what was the other thing you said? Productivity lost, or where no, you said something else, which also was just not like it's not that I don't like that I lose productivity. It's more the high pace that I have right now keeps me kind of like in a good shape and keeps me rolling and gets me through the day instead of not doing anything and just like cherry picking it out. It
Right.
relax a lot.
Okay. But then doesn't that mean when you do that you lose the productivity?
For
Because
me,
that's on the page you're at right now.
for me, productivity as a definition is more that you finish a given task with the resources you have. But I have no task to finish because uni is done. Like I don't have to, like yes, I have one assignment, like one written assignment due like someone, but it's not that I like productivity. It's more like a more sophisticated for keeping busy.
Yeah. Okay, clear. So just to summarize, it is not necessarily the productivity as you mentioned, but it's just that there are no more tasks to do at some point, and then you cannot be productive.
Yeah, like a structure throughout the day.
I
That
see.
is more the thing.
Yeah. Um, and I'm just curious, if you would have all the time in the world, what would you be like willing to learn?
It like the first thought that just came up into my mind was learn about coral reefs, and more about coral kindergartens. Eventually, even fly there and like plant my own coral kindergarten because I personally find the idea so adorable, but also it is very important for our environment and the climate health that there is enough corals.
Right. And what other things are you thinking of?
Like I would love to work like Indiana to already start it and to rent an apartment and decorate it with all the interior design, to buy it all and like set it up and be done with it.
All right. So you basically mentioned what you want to do when you have all the time is learning more about the coral reef, um, getting to work or preparing to work, basically, how you refer to the applications, I guess, and preparing for the apartment and the whole interior design of it.
Mhm.
Are there other things you would like to learn, new skills you'd like to develop?
Not at the moment, I'd say.
Okay.
Like there's nothing on my learning list right now that I'd be like, oh, I kind of need to learn that.
Mhm.
For that, I figure I have to have an objective where I put that the things that I learned at use.
Okay, clear. Then let's rewind a bit. How could you figure out new tasks to do while you still have tasks?
Maybe like the second half, or like the way you formulated the question, it's made me realize that it is not about the tasks,
Mm-hmm.
like that I like of tasks, like I can make up tasks, but it's more the structure of the day.
Okay. So just to make clear, it's just that you have a sort of schedule in your day which you live by, that you have to do something, and
Yeah, the high pace that I have.
exactly.
Yeah. Like I could set up gym classes early in the morning so that I have no excuse to stay long in bed. That would be one of my options. I could also do um, like that. I have a meal plan to see, okay, this is what I want to cook and make it more of a complex meal, which just requires more time. Um, I could schedule just more of a schedule like planning for the day so that I have from 8 to 9 this thing and from 10 to 10:30 the other thing, just to have it more of a schedule. Um, and that is kind of like school wise, but I'm just not in class, but live by my own schedule. And thus, it's not about the task, but the structure that I clearly need.
Yeah. Have you tried doing something like that before?
Yeah,
How did that go?
good.
Very good.
Hmm.
Yeah. What can you tell me more about um, when that worked for you? What were ways to keep yourself occupied?
I did a lot of habits or like regularity in my gym appointments. Like every day I did this and this at the same time. So I had like fixed points, created artificial fixed points in my day, and around that I would organize other things.
Hmm. So if I grasp the whole situation clearly, you like to be in a structured day at a high pace, and you don't want to lose that. So you find it very important to keep these tasks coming in, so you can keep that structure of the day. And in the past, you've experienced that very well. So what can we do here? What can I do for you to improve the situation?
I don't think that you can do anything like you as my coach.
Mm-hmm.
Because you cannot. I mean, if you want to go with me to the gym 7 a.m. in the morning, you can be of great help. But I don't think that is your task as a coach to me.
Mm-hmm.
So you could remind me that I think of things that I want to fix in my work, in my week schedule, like the gym, like calling somebody just to make like fix things,
Mm-hmm.
and that would create more structure in my day.
Okay. Well, is there anything you would like to add to this conversation?
No, like that really was of great help.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for today, and I'm very curious to see how I have helped you. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Very well.
Nice.
Feedback, please, ladies.
Feedback. Should I start, Michelle?
Yeah, sure.
You're mute, by the way.
Oh,
Um, it's okay.
okay. I was like,
So it started off very well, a quick icebreaker. Um, then you asked Enrico to Melanie, in the focus of this talk, what can I help you with for the next 7 days? So there, Melanie, she mentioned like a lot of things that were going on, like a shift next week, presentations, assignment, Monday this, Monday that, Tuesday exam. So there were like all these things going on. And then she said that um, after Tuesday, she's kind of done and she expects a whole lot of nothing and wants to keep up the productivity. And she's scared of not being able to do that. So the goal was kind of there in the middle. You summarize that later, but maybe it would have been good to kind of emphasize again on the goal. Like, okay, so this is specifically what we're going to talk about because she said so many things. So it
yeah.
was kind of, yeah. Um, then I think you asked very good questions, open-ended in general. You did a lot of summaries, which kept the conversation on the right track. A few times, Melanie even said, like, no, actually, I don't mean this by that. So it kind of clarified things throughout the conversation, which was really good. Um, then you kind of, I like that you told her, like, are there other things you would like to learn, skills? So she was like kind of thinking, okay, there's nothing else. Actually, what I really want to focus on is on this. So we are kind of clearing a bit more her mind, I think. um and it was funny how at the end you told her, like, what can I do to improve the situation? And then she kind of said it, so it was funny because you didn't really have to do it. She just said it, and at the same time, like that, she knew what she had to do. So it was kind of a very short, concise, and straight to the point thing. So I don't know. What I felt about this conversation is kind of a problem that doesn't really have a clear solution because it's sort of like it's a transition period for what I understand of the actual problem. So there's no like actual structure that she can have right now, like fast paced and everything due to the situation only, and because you guys are not working right now, and that's why. So you kind of made her think, okay, I could go to the gym, I could do this, I could do that. So I think it was overall good.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Um, so a little bit like Delphina, at the beginning, at the beginning, indeed, Melanie told a lot of things. When you summarize, you Enrique set up the goal. And at some point, you said, if I understand correctly, but she didn't really have the time to answer. So at some point, the goal became the goal that you set up for the conversation. Because I didn't hear her, but maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't hear, like Delphina said, the goal was somewhere, but I didn't hear her say, yes, indeed, that is my goal. So you went on a conversation that was right, but still, whose goal was it? Was it you, coach, who decided that the goal was it because you were like, okay, I pick one? Or was it really Melanie? So it wasn't, the goal was there, but it wasn't clear and expressed by the coachee.
Okay.
Melanie as a coachee.
Yeah.
Indeed, you make a super good work to summarize. But because we still have a goal that wasn't decided by her, for me it was sometimes it felt like some kind of uncomfortable because even her at some point she was like, yeah, and I want to do that, and I want to do that, and I want to do that. So it was super good that you summarized, but still we were like, you summarized getting back to a goal that maybe wasn't her. And I really like the fact, so at the end, you asked lots of close hand questions, some close hand question, followed by open headed question. Close hand, yeah, yes, no, and she answered because at some point she was like, yeah, yeah, and she didn't even like it was like yeah, and she didn't. And it's true that we can feel your relationship because indeed, what can I do to help you? And I was like, yeah, and she was like, and indeed she said, no, you do not have to help me, but I think that in some way you have a relationship and it transpire by this I don't know if the word exists in English, lapsus, like you, yeah, lapsus. And at some point, what did I note? Yes, so the follow-up question. So when you say let's rewind, how can I figure out the new task to do and things like that? It was really good, but like that again, it was a direction that wasn't really her. She was still figuring out because, and at some point, I would have loved to be like, what did she feel when she was living on a high pace? Because she explained that, and maybe to understand what's her issue with the sense of emptiness and having nothing to do. What does she scare? Is she not if she's scared, but will have been interesting to see how it will be a challenge for her not to be not to have that kind of structure because she has things to do. But I think that the space and the fact that it's like not challenging anymore, she will feel kind of bored. And maybe why is she bored? What can she prevent to do that? Yeah, so that's maybe some reality question
Hmm.
to go back to understand, and maybe she will have find a solution to be like, okay, maybe that's that, and maybe finally she's not that bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't really like see the relationship question in that way because the way I asked the question was like at what it and how like in what matter can I help you right now
Oh, it
in
was
within
super
like
good.
as the conversation, not as like me as the boyfriend, but
No,
more.
but you specifically asked, okay, how can I help you? And then I was like, I have to figure that out myself. And there's nothing like that you could do, even if you're not my boyfriend. You as a coach cannot say, okay, tomorrow at 7 a.m. get up for sports.
Mhm.
So it is not nothing that you drag me out to do something.
No, okay.
But
Maybe that's been like a misunderstanding because I meant within this conversation because I felt like you answered everything yourself already. Like the conversation
Okay.
was done basically. And my question, like the way I meant it was, okay, at this point, now that we reached like the end, in my opinion, how can I help now at this stage? And then when you said, like you can't help me, I was like, okay, well, do you like to add anything more to the conversation? No. Well, then we're done.
maybe as a future reference for that one,
Mhm.
if you've noticed that your coachee is um, like has it solved figured out. Oh wait, I had a good question. Um, is there another resource that you might need? So then you put it away from you as a person, but just open it for the universe, and then you say, oh yeah, maybe another resource is like a calendar that I
Okay.
where I write it down what I want to do.
Uh,
Or another resource could be I call my mom. I don't know. Like then it is literally open to everything and not just like, and what can I hero do for you now? Like that's how it came across. Okay.
yep.
Um,
Okay.